G'day, Aussie Bonsai Bloke here, how you going? Today, in the Bonsai Bloke's workshop, I've got a mulberry tree. I airlaid the mulberry tree off of my parents' old mulberry, black mulberry tree. I reckon 5 or 6 years ago I must have airlaid it off, and since then I put it into a kitty litter basically container, and just let it grow. And as you can see, it's got a lot of roots. Strange colour, they're almost like yellow or orange. Funny coloured roots. I've already taken it out and cut most of the roots off. I'll reduce them a bit more still. Our plan for today will be to put it in a different pot and cut back some of the dead branches. A fair few branches have died. The mother tree that this one came off of was 50 years old, so, and looking at where this branch come from, this one would have been one of the first ones to grow as well. It hasn't really been watered, so it's been stunted, the mother tree, a fair bit. The one that this mulberry came off of when it airlaid it. So yeah, it's got considerable age to it. It's got no taper. It's seriously got a lot of issues, but I'm happy just being so old and stuff. I'm gonna probably just use clip and grow techniques on it, because I'm not sure this would accept wire very well, this tree, and I'd knock some of these buds off pretty easy, I think. And it's a strange sort of segmented growth anyway, and it's like a soft sort of stretchy wood, so I think even if you bent that, I really don't think it would hold shape too well. I mean, maybe in time, but it's just a weird sort of a, hard to explain, but it's a weird sort of a feel to it, and it seems like segmented, almost like a jade tree or something, even though it's got wood. So, and obviously, as you can see, when something does come off there, the wood's very soft and breaks down very quickly. So I'll just use clip and grow and see how far I can take this tree, I think. The first job will be to clean up the roots a bit more and try and establish what I think looks good as a front. Pretty much going to be determined by the roots and the shape of the trunk. Obviously, you don't want to choose a spot on the trunk, well, like that for instance, where it's going to be straight up and down. You want a bit of movement in it, so try and find a spot with a lot of movement, and you want a reasonable base as well when you're choosing your front. Yeah, so I'll clean up the roots a little bit, and then we'll try and work out what the front should be of the tree. So basically, I just clean up the surface roots that I don't want, and I'll keep the ones that I do want, the thicker ones. Yeah, there really is no real thick ones in there yet. It must be still growing. There is a lot of little fine ones around her. So, worst case scenario, I think I'll just cover up the finer ones and let them keep growing. Probably see under here, that's where I cut it off of the main parent tree years ago. Well, yeah, probably 5 years ago. Yeah, so I'll go and I'll clean up the roots a bit and get back to you. Okay, so I've cleaned up the roots as much as I dare. Probably taken off more than I wanted to, really. As you can see, it's not very good. You know, someone might even throw this tree away because it's not that great, but it's got good sentimental value to me. I remember as a kid with my brothers going out there picking all the mulberries off the tree. Used to look at the tree all the time, so yeah, it's got good sentimental value. So I'm going to keep this one to the day I die, I reckon. Well, unless it dies, I hope not, but you never know. You never know in the world of bonsai. So, after looking at it for a little bit, spinning it around a few times, I sort of was tossing up between two fronts. One sort of here somewhere. It wouldn't look too bad. And then another one I was thinking maybe it was about there somewhere. I was thinking maybe lean it forward a bit like that. Over time I'd reduce the back a bit because that's quite long at the back. So over time I could reduce that. So I'll get that potted up and wired in, and then I'll get back to you with some of the cutting back. Okay, so got the tree potted up. It's a little bit loose and I've wired it as much as I can, but still a bit loose. These roots are really funny. They're quite flexible and stretchy sort of roots, so don't really offer any sort of firm hold to tie it down, and they also don't really give it a lot of stability, to be honest. So I've just got to be really careful cutting it back now that I don't move it around too much. So now that we've got it in a pot and at a front that I think looks alright, I'm gonna cut back any dead bits that are completely dead. I think the future plan of the tree is to just keep cutting it back to try and get the whole tree in a bit tighter, because at the moment you'll agree it's a bit big and lanky. But I did an experiment on about 3 branches last year, the year before, not sure anyway. And what I did is I had a branch that had growth on the tip, and I did it on branches that I knew I wasn't going to keep, and I cut them back like that. This one's dead, but just say it was alive, and this was alive. I cut them back to see whether they would backbud, and the branch died off. So I decided that's a bad idea, but that was branches I didn't want. I was just doing a bit of a test, because ideally I'd like to cut it all back hard now, but after that test I don't think I will. Might end up with nothing left. And as I've stated before, I do have a few sentimental values to this tree, so I don't want to go kill it or whatever. Might not be the best tree, but it certainly means a little bit to me, so I don't want to go killing it. Yeah, so I'll cut. Yeah, first job I'll just cut everything dead out. Anything that's dead, shriveled back. The funny sort of branches, when they die, they shrink right up. And you can see if you wire it, they have these segments. So I don't think it'll like wire too much. I'm going to do strictly clip and grow for this one, I reckon. Get rid of any dead bits. Yeah, and hopefully it has back budded a little bit over time in places, so I hope it does. And well, down here it has, a new branch has grown, so I'm hoping it will continue to do that, and then I'll slowly be able to cut it back as it back buds a bit. But yeah, a fair few branches have died off. It's even quite hard to tell which branches are alive or not. The only way I can really tell is if they look shriveled. Got to do something about the lighting here. I've got a floodlight going, and well, it's bright where it's bright, but then it's dark where it's dark. So I'm going to have to do something about my lighting, I think. Yeah, so I'm not cutting it back hard. There'll be no drastic changes to it. I'm just cutting off all the dead bits, and hopefully I'll get some back budding and some nice strong shoots that I can cut it back to later on. As the tree gets a bit stronger. Just some branches just up and die, like that one there died back. This bit here is still just alive. Bit underneath is dead. Yeah, it's a bit tricky. See that? I thought that was dead just then, but it's actually alive. So a bit tricky. You got to be really careful about. What you cut back. Normally it's quite easy to see when something has died. Not so tonight. The lighting is probably one of the main factors, but still. Yeah, see that long branch there? There's still life on the end of it, so I'll keep that one. So if I wide that out somewhere, I think it would just go straight back to where it started. I'm not sure mulberries would be the best tree in the world if you were starting bonsai. This one looks like it might offer me up a bit of a challenge, I reckon, in time to come. Yeah, probably not the first tree to try and look after, I don't think. Also very light. When I was lifting it up before, it's a very, very light tree. Very light wood. Even though it's years and years old, comes from the maybe grown there late 60s, early 70s, somewhere around there. Yeah, the wood's still very soft. So once I cut all this back, and then yeah, we'll just put it on the bench and let it recover, let it grow for another season, and maybe repeat the process again, and hopefully there'll be some spots or some areas that I can cut it back to. holding back a lot of these knobs. That branch there at the front, I think will probably go. Yeah, there's this little branch down here, might be a little bit hard to see on the camera, but that's got to go, I think. Yeah, that's one of the new branches that I've grown. Still the main branch here, so that's okay. Never normally use any cut paste, so I probably won't put cut paste on, although I did notice last year I did a fairly major cut on one of these mulberries and it did bleed out a lot, so may need to end up using cut paste, I'm not sure. Yeah, I reckon that's pretty much all the dead sections, so let's just hope in the future back buds a bit and we can get it to ramify and reduce the size of the canopy a bit. Just show you, like here's an area here where it's long and lanky. But last year I did get this growth outside here, so in future I'll be able to cut back to there. I'm not really going to cut back to there now because the rest of the canopy is out quite wide and it might shade that shoot off, so I think I'll leave these long now just in case that shoot dies back. In the future I'll keep trying to reduce the tree. Hopefully I can get some more around the rest of the tree. There are some other areas too here. Here's another one. Some more growth here. Yeah, that's a new branch that I've grown down there. Yeah, a lot of work needs doing on this, I tell you. But that's what bonsai is all about. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with choosing that for the front for now. May spin it in the future, I'm not sure. Just do a quick spin of the tree, how it stands at the moment. It may never be the perfect tree, but it's certainly got age to it and comes off a tree that we used to go collecting as kids, so mulberry tree, so yeah, pretty happy to have a piece of the old tree. Who knows, maybe one day it might turn into something okay. Alright, no worries. Thanks for watching Aussie Bonsai Bloke. I'll catch you next time. Well, I'm back. Put a bit of paint on the worst of the cuts because they were weeping a bit, so hopefully they'll settle down. But I stood back and looked at the tree for a bit and I decided if this is going to be the back, I can probably shorten a lot of it now, I think. One of the major ones I've thought about for a bit. It's very hard to replace a branch once you cut it off, but I thought about this long one back here and I don't think it's needed, so I'm going to be doing a major cut. So there goes that one. Nibble it back a bit. I'll leave a bit of a stub on this one just to stop too much sort of dieback. Don't want it knocking out this branch here. If that branch there goes, I'm in big trouble. And then I also thought about this little one up here. I think I've cut that back and I'll keep some of this stuff shorter over this next sort of ear. I'm going to cut it back to here. And this long one here, well, I could probably nearly take the whole thing off. I think I will. Just go back to the camera and have a bit of a look at that. Yeah, so from the front, not much has changed, but certainly from the side, you know, it's not so much coming at the back now, and it's made the tree a bit more balanced, I think. Anyway, I'll stop there before I end up wrecking the thing. Okay. Cheers for watching. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.